I've been thinking a lot about the fact that being back home in Alaska, we learn so much resilience here, like being shaped by places where you do have to pay attention to the wind, the weather, the tides, temperature. You have to know how to survive in the wilderness, like literally, like there are some places with no service, no gas stations for miles, no hospitals for miles. Like the resilience that you build in a place that is difficult to live in has served me so well. Traveling the world, being in so many different countries, and then coming back home is always such a unique experience because you can learn so much about the world when you go to different places. You become more resilient through your travels, yes. You learn about different cultures, about different ways of being. You learn about different people, different ways of life. Coming back home every single time, I find you learn more about yourself. You learn more about how you have changed, because it's like in science when you have different variables. One variable you do want to stay the same at least. And so coming back to the same place over and over again, it's kind of like having that singular variable that doesn't change. Yes, your hometown can shift and everything, but that's besides the point I'm making. Like, come back to a place and realize how much you have grown. Realize how much you have changed as a person. It can be difficult coming back to a place where you used to be a different version of yourself. Maybe you have different roles and labels and expectations and jobs like put on you from the perspective of who you were in the past. If you ever go back home, like if you're in the post-college era and you head back to your hometown, or you've been solo traveling and you head back to your hometown, realize like you are allowed, you have permission to change as a person. And every single time you come back home, that can be an invitation to go deeper into integrating the parts of yourself that you have collected from your experiences abroad. I think this is such a big aspect of the creative process as well, of learning and then applying information. We have this chapter of learning, of gathering, of sourcing, of gathering the inspiration, of being like a sponge to everything that you can learn, like listening to the podcasts, watching the videos, reading the books, going out and experiencing, like having those lessons, those tangible life lessons. And then there's a point where you do have to integrate those. And the integration is a really important aspect. There's a lot of creativity and imagination and wisdom that comes forth when you allow yourself space and time and silence to integrate. A few practices I really like to do this are journaling, obviously, to have that reflection period, meditation in nature, being able to take walks or be in nature in silence. Let your brain have those moments, have those times to really just like knock the pebbles out, like let the monkey brain go for a little bit, and you will find more tangible realizations from something maybe you've listened to in the past, or a book you've been reading, or thoughts you've been having. They come to a head. You find so much more clarity when you allow that stillness. I find after I allow myself to have that stillness, I'm so creative. Like I have so many creative ideas of episodes I want to do, paintings I want to do, content I want to create, things I want to share with my team, and also applying those lessons to real life scenarios that happen on those small moments on a daily basis. Like, yes, some big life lessons happen in the big, grandiose moments and adventures, but it's really on a daily basis when you have those challenges, you face those difficulties, that you can really seriously apply what it is that you're learning. And I find that so special. Loving being back home and really seeing the challenges come up of like, okay, thought I learned this lesson, here to reintegrate it. And that's another thing too, you guys, is healing is not linear. If you've ever seen like the Kundalini spiral or the snake, it spirals up and then down and then up and then down and then up and down, but slowly you are making progress. This is the same thing too, like in your business, when you have progress that you're wanting to make towards a goal, you will not go straight up. It is not a linear line of success. You will go up, down, plateau, up, but you are continuing to raise your level and raise your capacity even through those dips, through those pitfalls, through those hardships. you have to hit those bottoms, you have to hit those valleys to really truly appreciate it when you are on a peak, when you are going on the up and up. So just trust that, like, if you are coming back to a place, if you feel like you're hitting a rock bottom of sort, I relate. Trust me, I've been there, and I kind of feel like I'm in a valley right now where it's rebuilding to the next peak. And that's okay. Like, that is part of life. It can't always be like highs all the time. There have to be those dips. But those are the moments, those valleys are the moments where you can really integrate into your core, into the center of who you are, integrate into every single aspect of your being and your practice of being a human being on this planet. Like, we are not going to be the same person forever. We are constantly evolving. We are constantly in flux and flow, just like the tides. It's the biggest tide cycle of the year right now. We have huge sweeping moments of extremes, and we have the smaller tides as well. So give yourself grace. I'm giving myself grace, but this is just such an amazing place to come back to. And I always have so much gratitude on days like this, especially. Like, it is 9:30 at night in Alaska, and the sun is shining, not even close to the horizon. It is the midnight sun, and I just look around at like these rocks, these beach peas, the mountains that have raised me, and realize every single time I come back as a new person after traveling, like, this is the place that is the nest for me to come back home to. And I'm so grateful for that. It is actually one of the most beautiful days of the year here in Alaska, and it's also one of the lowest tides of the year. So let's go out and see what the beach looks like. This morning, this one just seemed so huge when I was a kid, but it's literally like 15 minutes down, 25 minutes up. And it's so funny how, like, in the past, experiences that you used to have used to seem so big, but when you overcome them time and time again, like, your capacity grows as you grow older and as you go through more experiences. So just a little reflection from the trail. When the mind is moving so rapidly, getting close to moving bodies of water, moving my body, getting the fire burning inside instead of just so many rampant thoughts going through my brain, this helps me ground myself and come back to center. Been drinking so many electrolytes, focusing on hydration and the basics of caring for the body so that I feel so centered and so at home within myself. This level of self-trust and knowing how to take care of your body and your mind, kind of like a gentle parent, knowing when to slow down, when to speed up, when to take time to really reflect and release all of the emotions, all of the thoughts bubbling up inside, whether that's through journaling, through yoga, through moments of meditative silence, and finding time to focus on the simple tasks, building a fire, doing laundry, the simple meditative chores that can be less like chores and more like invitations to slow down, step into what it is that you're feeling, and see it clearly. It is currently summer solstice, and in Alaska, this is a really big celebration because it marks the longest day of the year. There's light shed upon so much. And really what I find is that during summer solstice time, during the start of Cancer season, it's also Father's Day today, I really find myself questioning, like, how am I providing security and stability in my own life for myself? Through the process of evolution, I start to feel very constricted by old environments, very constricted by old scenarios, places that I've grown up, different homes. And I kind of think of this as the shell, the Cancer shell, holding you in, and you're able to transition between different spaces, different homes. But those in-between transitions, the in-between moments, There's magic in that, yes, but there's a lot of vulnerability. When you are transitioning into a new era, you're like the caterpillar emerging from the cocoon as a butterfly. You are the crab crawling from one shell to the other. There's so much fear that can come with that, and that is okay. Like, you're exposing yourself, you're putting yourself out there, you're taking the big scary leap to go to that next place, that next environment, that next chapter of your life. And there's a lot of bravery that requires. There's a lot of courage that requires. Every single time I have made massive upgrades in my life, massive leaps into the unknown, oftentimes it takes like a one-way plane ticket for me to find that. But now I'm coming to a point where every single quantum leap or every single new era, new chapter, new version of myself, it's more of an introspective journey. When I'm traveling, everything is like an expansive journey, and I definitely have the moments of introspection. And I find that the integration process, again, I've talked about this before, but the integration process is so needed. Integrating the lessons you're learning, integrating these new chapters of who you are, it's so incredibly important. And it's amazing to have that home space, that security to come back to. But as I've found through traveling the world over the last 10 years, is you need to be your own home. Number one, most important thing, you need to feel like you can trust yourself, you can come home to yourself, you can come back into your body, into your energy, into your space. And no matter where you are in the world, no matter if you have another stable person in your life, no matter if you have a stable home or not, being able to come back to yourself is so, so key. I've reflected a lot also on like the whole rhetoric of like find a man to provide to you, and we are not in that era anymore. Like, you need to have your own back as a woman. You need to have your own security. And for me, knowing that finances, emotional regulation, knowing how to do things on your own, that independence makes me trust myself. It gives me the confidence, it gives me the resilience to be able to go out in the world and experience and explore it. And then if there is a partner, if there is a friendship, if there is a job or a person that can provide extra benefits for me and extra like love and care and nourishment, that's incredible. But when you have your own back, when you are your own home, when you trust yourself, you trust your body, you trust your ability to make money, you trust your ability to create the life that you want on your own, when you trust yourself wholeheartedly, you have the confidence that you can do that, you can make better choices. You can make more aligned choices. You can make choices, point blank, period. And if you are privileged enough to have the freedom to be able to choose what it is you want to do with your life, which if you're watching this, you have access to the internet. You can build a business. You can create content. You can put yourself out there. The biggest confidence booster and the biggest way that you can provide security and self-trust in yourself, be your own sugar daddy, if you may, is putting yourself out there. I do believe this can be done through content as a spiritual journey. I do believe this can be done simply just by showing up in your daily life with a bit more audacity. Have the audacity of like a middle-aged white man, literally just be able to show up. Know that you can figure it out along the way. Show up as yourself boldly and proudly and know that you have your own back. That creates the security. If you have a job and you get let go of because of company requirements, if you want to go travel the world and you don't know how you're going to make it happen, but you know you have a phone, you have yourself, you have your voice. If you want to create your own business, but you don't know what you have to offer, you have everything within you. Building your own business, creating content, putting yourself out there, you begin to realize as the creator of your own reality, you will be okay no matter what. You are resourceful. You have tools at your disposal. You have your voice. You have your spirit. You have yourself to lean on. And that's why I truly believe like in this era of creating personal brands, of building businesses online, of putting yourself out there, like there are so many people doing it and no one can do it like you. And if you are brave enough to step outside of that old shell that is getting too small for you. You're able to put yourself out there in the vulnerable position of exposing yourself, of showing the world who you are. You will be your own safety net. You will be your own home. You will provide that sense of security because you know, like, you got yourself. You got you, boo. Like, you have got yourself. You've got your own back, and you have what it takes already to make that life work, to make that next big, bold move for yourself. And all the times that I have these realizations or these downloads or I'm sharing these messages, truly, I believe it's honestly just to share for myself and for the world, of course, but there's lessons that I'm learning alongside you and realizations I'm having in real time. I'm putting myself out there before I have everything figured out yet. I'm putting myself out there scared and unsure, and like, I'm a perfectionist. So getting over that hurdle of I'm not going to release something, I'm not going to put myself out there until I have the next step planned out, that has kept me small in the past. And no longer are we letting ourselves play small in fear of the vulnerability that it takes to take that leap into our dream life. We don't have to know where our next home or our next shell or next like big move is going to be. We don't have to know. We just have to trust ourselves, have faith in ourselves enough to step out and make that leap, step into that next chapter. So thank you so much for being here. The support already and the feedback on this has honestly made me so excited to see what will come. And it's very validating. When you share your message, when you share your truth, let me tell you, like, it's very validating to hear responses from people, knowing that it's already touched them, it's already inspired them to be more confident, to work on their self-trust, to put themselves out there, to start that business, to travel, to simply just be okay showing up as you are and continuing to evolve as you grow and being okay with trusting the process and not having control over every single thing, but knowing that you're working it out as you go. So thank you so much for watching and for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, support this channel, like it, share it, comment below what it is that you're struggling with right now, because I'd love to be able to talk with you about it. And again, sending you so much love and light.